Hi everyone, it's time for another episode of Atoms for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around, we're going to be talking about the 2012 film Alex Cross, starring Tyler Perry and Matthew Fox. Before I really get into what the movie's about, the other well-known actors that you may recognize from this film, and there's quite a few of them in it. By the way, Matthew Fox, if you don't really recognize him, you best know him for playing lead character. I think his name is Jack on the hit TV series Lost. Rachel Nichols is also in this. Edward Burns and Jean Reno, very well known actor, is also in this. The only other one that I kind of recognize is guy who plays the captain in this, John C. McGillard. I just can't remember exactly what he's from. But yeah, still quite a few well-known actors. Oh, the one other one has a bit of a minor role in this movie, but a lot of people recognize him. His name's Chad Lindbergh. Plays a chemist in this movie. You know him as Jesse from the first Fast and the Furious movie. So yeah, quite a few well-known actors in this movie. The premise of this movie, it's about a detective. The same name as the movie, Alex Cross, he's also a doctor in this. They never really say what he's a doctor of. I guess it's psychology. Played by Tyler Perry. Really good at his job. Really smart. Like, for example, in the movie, there's a scene where with his wife, and basically, by things that she says that she did that day, or little hobbies, or stains on the clothes, or even a smell coming off her, you can tell exactly what you've done. He's that kind of smart. He's that good as a detective. And in the movie, he meets his basically evil opposite, a hired killer who goes by Picasso. That's you never get his real name. That's just his professional name, professional assassin name, I guess you could say. And he is every bit as smart as Alex Cross. Like I said, he is played by Matthew Fox, and I gotta say, how good a job he does playing this character. It's one of the best, like in terms of how much he gets into this role, how seriously he takes it. It's one of the best acting roles that I've seen done probably since Heath Ledger played the Joker, and I don't make a comment like that lightly. Because everybody knows the late Heath Ledger in his last role, how phenomenal he was as the Joker. But this is very comparable. It's actually creepy how well he does this role. He really gets into the character. He even went so far as to change his physical appearance, like for real, to get into the role. Like, I'm not saying Matthew Fox is a huge dude, but you can tell he's lost a significant amount of weight for this role. He's quite thin for this role compared to how he normally looks. And yeah, I just gotta say, this character is just it's just the way he portrays the character is just so, like I said, it's very creepy. You almost think he's a real person, like a real hired killer. Just the way he does this role, it's spot on, and it really draws you into the movie because of how well done this character is. Nothing, no offense to Tyler Perry, he does his character really well as well. As Doctor slash Detective Alex Cross. But in my opinion, Matthew Fox really makes this movie as his character. So yeah, the best way I can describe the two characters in this movie, basically the relationship is a lot like Sherlock Holmes and Professor James Moriarty in the Sherlock Holmes novels and movies. The two of them, how they're like kind of they're opposite. They're opposite and negative, or opposites attract kind of thing. They're the positive and negative to each other. Very similar relationship between Alex Cross and Picasso. Now you find out very early on. Well, Picasso is well trained in pretty much everything he does. Including using knives, guns, and fighting. And there's a scene early in the movie. You get to see how good he is at mixed martial arts, at fighting. When he fights in an underground MMA fight, fighting the champion, the local champion of this, who's a pretty good fighter in his own right, and just wins in brutal fashion. Like there's a line he says, basically, make it good, do what you got to do, but don't hit me in the face, or you'll never fight again. And the fighter learns that the hard way after punching him in the face. But basically, you find out he did the fight just so he could get close to the woman he was hired to kill. But also, he enjoyed the fight. and you find out how sadistic he is because he actually tortures this woman before killing her in quite a brutal fashion. Picasso, gets the name Picasso because he likes to draw Picasso-like pictures and leave them at his crime scenes. It's kind of like a calling card, as well as sometimes he likes to leave roses behind on each one of his victims, and sometimes these Picasso-like pictures indicate his next target. Um, so yeah, the way in which he pulls off these jobs—that's another thing. About Picasso is a very interesting character. The way in which he pulls off some of these jobs. Now, maybe movie fiction. I don't know if it could ever be pulled off by like a professional of Picasso's caliber in the movie in real life. But even still, even for a movie, it's pretty cool. The way he pulls off some of these jobs is pretty ingenious and just kind of shows how smart he really is. So yeah, one other funny thing about Picasso, he's fascinated by pain, and the various methods in which to deliver pain to his victims. And of course, he himself is a sadistic character. He enjoys the pain given to him as well, or if he inflicts the pain upon himself. And then finally, when the Alex Cross and the two detectives finally cross paths for the first time, Alex Cross's character, who's made up of Tommy, who's Edward Burns' character, and Monica, that was the Nichols character. Um, they basically stop Picasso from killing his target on one of his jobs, and he doesn't appreciate that. He basically decides he's going to go after these cops, these detectives, uh, starting with Monica, and he ends up killing her, and again in a brutal fashion, as indicative of Picasso's nature. Picasso then ends up making a very bad mistake because he ends up killing someone very close to Alex. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to give it away. And basically, that sets Alex off, and things really get interesting between Alex and Picasso. And Alex, makes it his personal mission to catch Picasso, and or kill whatever Picasso forces his hand to do. Um, Alex and Tommy do not succeed in foiling Picasso's biggest assassination attempt, but do intercept him as he's trying to make his escape. And it sets up this epic final clash between Alex and Picasso. And it's one of the, it ends up, as a great ending. It's one of the best, but not, even though it's not a very well known movie, in my opinion. I don't think Alex Cross is well known as some movies. But, it's still a really good ending for this movie. And at the end also, there's a very good plot twist that you really do not see coming. I don't want to give too much away. Like I said, I won't say which one of Alex's, people that's close to him was killed. I won't say exactly the plot twist at the end because it really spoils it. But yeah, Alex Cross, I think a very underrated movie. I mean, I don't remember it being very hyped about when it came out in 2012. I don't hear many people talk about Alex Cross, and when I mention it, people like Alex Cross, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that movie before. I guarantee you, check it out. You will not be disappointed. If you're a fan of a good old, just fashion psychological action thriller, Alex Cross is the movie for you. And like I said, Matthew Fox's portrayal of that Picasso character is just legendary. Like I said, the best way I can describe it, it's on par with Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, which, like I said, is not something I say lightly because that is a legendary performance. So yeah, I can't say it's better than it. I don't really think it is, but I wouldn't anyways. But it's definitely on par with it. So Alex Cross, definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. And obviously, dealing with the themes that it deals with, it's a rated R movie. So not for anybody under the age of 18. It's good, it's a good adult movie. Um, you can pretty much pick it up at any video place. I don't know if it's available on any streaming platforms, but yeah, definitely give Alex Cross a watch. You will not be disappointed, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right, take care, folks. Have a good one.